I don't want to waste your time, so there won't be an intro. Today I do actually need to waste your time, at least a little bit, because this is not my video. I'm currently writing my bachelor's thesis, so I have invited two guests to handle this and next week's video. First up is Pinrolls, who at the moment only has 350 subs, but you're going to see that this guy is a true diamond in the rough. So I hope that you give him a chance, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to also check out his channel. Link is in the description.
The introduction of Oregon's rework into the competitive map pool was for me the most exciting feature of recent competitive play. It brought with it some very interesting matches and also raised many questions. The most potent of these was which is the best tertiary bomb site on the map. The answer to this largely depends on which region you ask, and in fact the only region which seems to have a definitive answer, at least according to win rate, is the US, claiming it to be Meeting and Kitchen. In fact, if we look at all the bomb sites played more than 10 times across the top 4 leagues, which I'll claim as EUL, APAC North, BR6, and the US League, Meeting and Kitchen in the US holds the second highest defensive win rate at 75%, behind only Hookah Billiards in EUL at 80%. This probably deserves a video in its own right to see what exactly makes US teams so successful when defending Meeting and Kitchen, but here I'd like to take a look at Kitchen and Dining, which to me personally seems to be the better bomb site. On Kitchen Dining, we've seen some ideas become increasingly default, like the upstairs extension which a majority of teams are playing. The idea here is to fight up top and waste as much time and utility as possible before falling back to site through the hatch or stairway. We've seen a team or two extend into Meeting as well, usually with the help of a castle. We've also seen teams cement a player in small tower, gifting them utility and the freedom to essentially fight for their life. We saw Cyclops employ this tactic with the Warden, and it actually worked quite well. I mean, look how much time and utility are wasted by the time they actually manage to get this kill. We also saw MIBR use this, but exchange the Warden for a shotgun Jaeger, which we rarely see, but this ultimately didn't work out as well. While these are all certainly interesting variations, the main source of variation within this setup happens around the shower area, and more specifically the shower's wall. We've seen teams double reinforce the shower's wall. We've seen them completely open it up. We've also seen teams reinforce the left and open the right, sometimes with a Goyo shield in the rotation hole, which is something that MIBR and Team 1 are both implementing. The one consistency amongst all these variations is that there is almost always a player playing behind a shield in the back of showers, and this is for good reason. This area of the map is absolutely crucial for attackers to take in order to execute onto the dining site. A player sat back here can deny any push into the dining door, and also deny one of the main plant spots behind this table. So, it seems that establishing control over the shower's position is vital, or at least very important for the defender's success rate. So, how do we achieve this? With all the options that we've seen displayed, how do we decipher which one is best? I personally really enjoyed the setup which both Rogue and Empire used this season. The basic premise is parking Maestro behind the default shield while reinforcing the right-hand side of the wall and opening footholds on the left-hand side. This setup accomplishes two things. The reinforcement enables Maestro additional area to move about within showers, while the footholds allow him to protect that reinforcement by impact tricking. Couple that with some ADS, and the Alda's ability to shoot for an eternity before needing to reload makes dislodging this player extremely uncomfortable for attackers. Having a player in this 90 area makes this almost impossible, as attackers don't have the option of walking up this hallway. It also grants an additional opportunity, which I haven't seen a professional team use yet. If the player in this position is a smoke, it enables him to smoke the other default plant spot, which Maestro is unable to challenge. The final pieces of setup which we need is a reinforcement and a rotation on this wall, and lastly, a rotation out of the back of showers, enabling the showers player the ability to escape if need be. To play this position correctly requires a certain mindset. The showers player needs to pose some sort of threat to attackers entering small tower and on the hallway window. If not, you allow them too much space and comfort. So when playing here, you don't necessarily need to be aggressive, but you do need to be active. Watch this clip of how Leon Gids plays this position, and notice how he is constantly moving, changing his angles and point of attack, and by doing so, applying pressure to the attackers, forcing them to pay attention to him and eventually deal with him face to face.
If he wants to stay alive for as long as possible, but Temper only have 3 members to aggress here onto Leon. They're actually going to have to use all of those members. As he pre-fires out, we'll get Shinka. The concussions rain out, but he doesn't seem deterred by these attacks whatsoever. So will the shield. They'll run on in, surely not one by one, because this is dangerous. Only 2 members left to clutch a 2v5. Leon will shut Dirtzer down. He can't get the last, and now...
Okay, now that we know the philosophy behind this position, how to set it up, and how it should be played, the remainder of the setup is largely up to you. We need to defend the kitchen side of the bomb site in some way or another, and what most pro teams seem to advocate for is a vertical extension mentioned earlier, but a meeting extension could be an interesting idea as well. Now, I don't want to claim that this shower setup is by any means perfect or by itself makes kitchen dining definitively a better site than meeting kitchen, but for me, this idea does tilt the odds in its favor. I do believe that more teams will be picking up this idea as it has proven to be quite successful, but with Oregon rework strats still in their infancy, I'm anxious to see the new setups that teams choose to adopt.
Alright, that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe to Pinrolls channel. I'll be back in exactly 2 weeks from now. See you then.